All right, quarterfinals in the Champions League are wrapped up now, and we had two of the best games of the year simultaneously alongside two of the probably the worst games of the year, in my opinion. So let's get on with the bad games first. We'll start with Sporting Arsenal. What's the XG? Barely a goal, not even a goal XG. Like at halftime, I think it was like zero point 0.3 XG. There really isn't that much to talk about. You could say Arsenal did what they had to do, and that's not score, but also not concede. I'm just happy this was on my second monitor, to be honest. Just this Arsenal team just looks lifeless. Their attack is completely non-existent. They don't even have the corners anymore. That's the scary thing. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're really concerned about scoring because you don't even have your ace, your trump card. As for Sporting, I feel like they deserve to tie it at least, bring it to extra time. I was expecting Arsenal to win this tie over two legs, and they did. So, I mean, you can be excited if you're Arsenal because you're in the semifinal, but that's really the only reason you should be excited. And over here at the other side, at Anfield, I mean, Liverpool, a real toothless second leg for Liverpool. I mean, the biggest story coming out of this match is the Ekitike injury. Whoops, I just realized I was full screen the whole time. Anyway, the biggest takeaway from this game is the Ekitike injury. It's so brutal, man. I love watching this guy play, and now he's not going to be able to play for at least another 9 months, probably a year. It's devastating. He's going to miss the World Cup. He's one of the best up-and-coming young strikers, in my opinion. I think he was going to start at the World Cup. I really do. I think he was going to start with Mbappe up front. It's just so unlucky. It's one of those freak injuries, non-contact. He literally just takes a step and his Achilles is torn off of his heel bone. It's just so tragic, man. I hate it. Obviously, PSG, again, they did what they needed to do. I thought Stefanov, real shout out for him. I mean, stepping up. Coming into the season, he is the backup goalkeeper. He's played great over these two legs. He's played fantastic. He's kept a clean sheet in both. In terms of most valuable player for PSG, you could make an argument for him just because of how much they rely on him to make some crucial saves. But obviously, this midfield duo just completely took Liverpool out of the game. Joao Neves and Vitinha, they're just beast mode. Absolutely beast mode. Of course, Dembele with the 2 goals. I would consider that a Ballon d'Or performance. That was like not necessarily his best game, but he turns up with 2 goals. That's just what a Ballon d'Or winner does. So, yeah, honestly, I'm disappointed with Liverpool. I expect Arne Slot to be gone by the end of this year, if not earlier. Yeah, hopefully they can get back into the competition. All right, on to the good stuff now. Let's start with the game that was first. Atletico Madrid, Barcelona. Atletico Madrid ended up winning on aggregate 3-2 against Barcelona, but they did not make it easy, okay? The first thing I gotta talk about is the internet kind of overreacting about this guy. Lamine Yamal is still the best player in the world, hands down, by a mile, in my opinion. Did he play a good second half? I thought he was okay in the second half. Was he best in the world in the second half? No, he wasn't. That's fair, all right? That's the criticism you can give. This kid is 18, guys. He's 18 years old. And he's the best player in the world. And every time he gets the ball, he looks like he wants to score. Every single time he gets the ball. And I really don't understand how people can say that he ghosts in these big games. He literally scored 5 minutes in. If you're not rooting for this kid, I kind of have to tell you, you're not rooting for what football is. Like, you're not rooting for pure football. You're not rooting for the Ronaldinho football the Messi football. It's unexplainable what he has, the talent that he has. I just don't understand people hating on him. I don't get it. He's just so fun to watch. He's so free. The ability to dribble through 4 defenders and still find a pass is just incredible. I'm never gonna hate on that ever. And I mean, Barcelona had the chances to win this game easily. They did. They had the chances. They had 7 big chances. I know big chances is like these foot mob stats are kind of like hit or miss. Like expected goals, big chances. These are all like determined by them. But I mean, and most of those were made by Yamal. One guy I was really disappointed with was Pedri. Not his best game in a Barcelona shirt. by any means. He didn't necessarily have a terrible, terrible game. I hold him to such a high standard that this kind of game that he had on Tuesday was below par for me. He needed to be better. He gave away the ball for that red card. Another guy I got to talk about, Ferran Torres, man. He was fantastic. Ferran Torres, he took his chance unbelievably well. Fantastic turn, fantastic finish into the top corner. And he's really making a case that he should start for Spain in the World Cup. Also, the Fermin Lopez, this was the turning point of the match. It was 2-0. Barca had fully come back. It's 2-2 at this point. 2-0 in the game, 2-2 on aggregate. And then Yamal whips a fantastic Trivela cross into Fermin Lopez, and Fermin gets kicked in the head by Musso. Now, I don't think it's a penalty. I don't think it should be a penalty. Musso is just trying to cover his goal, and Fermin, it's less that Musso kicks him in the face and more that Fermin falls into his studs, really. But it was the turning point of the match. It slowed Barcelona down literally to a halt for like a few minutes. And, I mean, when you see your teammate gushing blood on the floor, it punches you. It punches you, and it definitely stopped Barcelona. I mean, and then right after, Atleti ended up scoring. I'll talk about Atleti in a minute, but it obviously affected his play as well. After that happened, he wasn't really the same player. There were a few chances, a few touches on the ball, a few passes that just didn't go his way. I thought that Hansi Flick probably should have subbed him out at halftime rather than halfway through the second half. That was another big thing. Like, I feel like Hansi Flick needed to bring on Frankie de Jong earlier. Frankie de Jong was missing in this game. He needed to come on at halftime. I know he was coming off injury, but he's got to play. He's too important not to. And to talk about the red card as well, I do agree. I'm okay with them giving it a red card, but I will say this. Clement Turpin, the referee, he gives a yellow card just so that he can go check it on VAR, right? And which makes me think that he wasn't really sure. And it was he saw it. When he saw it, it was a bit soft, which is what I thought as well. And also Koundé, I thought, could have got back to cover Sorloth there. I just think it shouldn't have been overturned. I'm okay with it being a red card. I just wish that he should have just stuck to his guns. It would have been like if the referee was coming out the gates, he was like, boom, red card, clear on goal, surely red card. I would be like, okay, that makes sense. Even if he went to check and and he confirmed it, yep, that's cool. I don't like to see him overturn it and really change the game that way. But at the end of the day, it was a silly challenge. It was silly. He pushes him in the back and he gives up the red card, and the game was really over. At best, Barcelona couldn't break down Atleti with 10 men, and I mean, there was still I think it happened the 80th minute or so, and 10 minutes plus extra time. I mean, with 10 men, it's just not enough time. Yeah, they were really missing Rafinha as well in this match. You could tell. They needed that kind of calmness. They needed that veteran presence from the start. I felt they were very, very rushed. Barcelona, very, very rushed, especially in the first half and going into the second half. It just felt like they kind of gassed themselves out a little bit too early. And they seemed rushed and frantic on the ball. They were making early passes, big touches. Yeah, I mean, going forward for Barcelona, definitely, I think a lot of people will say their number one need is a striker, which is important, but I think they need a center back more. I think they need, if they're going to continue playing with this high line, which I think they can. I think there are a lot of people criticizing the high line, of course, just because they're getting exploited, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad option. I think they can win the Champions League with the high line that Hansi Flick has set them up in. It's just they don't have the defenders to do it. They need a quick center back. They need somebody who can recover quicker. And seeing how Spurs are going to go down, I think Mickey van de Ven would be perfect on this team. He is probably one of the quickest defenders in the world, and I think he would play a high line fantastic. And not to mention his ability on the ball. He would be fantastic in this Barcelona team. All right, now I got to give flowers to Atleti, man. This is just sensational performance. This is a Simeone masterclass performance from Atletico Madrid. You saw, as soon as they scored their goal, Simeone was like, yo, calm down, we got this. Calm. He was asking for calm. It is a masterclass in composure from Diego Simeone. He was phenomenal. I thought his substitutions were great. His selections in the team as well. Seeing how injured this Atletico Madrid team was, I thought he picked the team really well. The only player that was horrific for Atleti was Clement Lenglet. And I feel like you kind of expected this. You're expecting him to get beat multiple times in this game. And honestly, for both goals, you could say it was at his expense. But to be honest, the midfield totally won the game for them. Marcus Llorente was all over the field. Easy man of the match for me. He was incredible. He was just absolutely incredible. He is a must-start for not only this Atletico team, he's a must-start for Spain. He's incredible, man. And Griezmann as well. Unbelievable game from Griezmann. How is he going to MLS next year? He's still got it, man. He's still got it in the tank. I know he's 35, but bro, he can still contribute to championship level teams. And I mean, Alvarez did not have his best game, but the fact that Atleti has the attack now, and this is something that Simeone has not had. Simeone has not had the attacking options that he has now. Like Alvarez, not really his best game. He kind of was a passenger for most of the game. Ademola Lookman took over for him. In the games in the future where Ademola Lookman kind of sits back, Alvarez is going to come on top. Even like the substitutions that he brought on, Alexander Sorloth, I thought he was fantastic after coming off the bench. Cardoso, it's going to be good to see him coming back from injury, as well as Baena. I mean, this is really going forward for Atleti. The big talking point, I think, for them is that their attack is legit. It's not, look, I know the Haram Ball edits are hilarious, but I mean, they're not just a defend and sit back team. They have a legitimate attack. Their bench is deep, and they have a lot of players coming back from injury. Specifically, I wrote them down. Cardoso, huge. Barrios, probably one of their best midfielders this season. He's going to be back for the next leg. Baena, Hanko, Pubil, all of these guys are going to be back for Atleti. They're going to be full strength against Arsenal, and I think they're going to make the final. I'll talk about the matchups later, but yeah, I think they're going to be the favorites going forward in that half of the bracket. But I mean, this was the best game of the season. This was the best game of the season up until Real Madrid Bayern Munich. My goodness gracious, where do I even start here? I mean, that was probably the best first half. The best half of football I've probably ever seen. The good for Madrid, obviously, Arda Güler, masterclass performance. I mean, that first goal, obviously, it's an open net, but that's not easy, bro. It's not the way he's hit it, that's not easy. Also, Bellingham, incredible. Bellingham and the fullbacks for Madrid as well, fantastic. Trent, obviously, going forward. He delivered some fantastic passes in the box, specifically one to Mbappe that should have put them in front. But of course, Neuer makes a miracle save, and Edouard Mendy really shut Olise down for the most part. I really thought, I mean, Olise ended up picking up a goal in this game, but it was not Olise's best game by any stretch, and that's a big part because of Ferland Mendy. Obviously, match rating is a 5.0, but I mean, if you watch the game, I would say he did very well defensively. I mean, Mbappe shows up with a goal, but this partnership up top, there are problems here. There are clear and obvious problems with Vinny and Mbappe. There are multiple times Mbappe had Vinny open on the sideline or making a great run. Mbappe just held the ball. And he saw Vinny. He saw him make that run. He chose not to pass. Now, the big talking points for Madrid, obviously, the red card with Camavinga. Look, it's a red card. It is, but I do think the referee forgot that he had a yellow card. It's obvious. If he remembered that Camavinga was already on a yellow, I don't think he's giving that second yellow. At that point, the game was tied. It was heading to extra time. Huge advantage for Bayern. I don't think he would have given that red card. But it is a red card. He delayed the game. It's a deserving yellow. And it was his second one. It was his second yellow. It was a big miss not having Tchouaméni. It was a big miss. I thought Valverde... I honestly didn't see a highlight that included Federico Valverde. The fact that he has a 7.0 is crazy. I honestly cannot tell you a moment. I can't remember Valverde being in this game at all. I really don't. And yeah, again, the Mbappe and Vinicius, this duo, this combo, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And Vinny, again, doing things that like are gonna make people critical of him. There's a moment early on in this game where I believe he tackles Kimmich and he starts pushing him on the ground. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. And then when Diaz scores the go-ahead goal for Bayern at the end of the game, he's sarcastically clapping and applauding his back line. Like, I just don't, like, it's just silly. I don't understand what goes through his head sometimes. Like, why does he do these things? I mean, and on to Bayern, like, I don't even know where to start. I will say this was the shakiest and the most nervous that I've seen Bayern Munich play this whole season. And I think it's because Real Madrid was really getting after them on the counterattack. And, I mean, you can compare Bayern to Barcelona pretty closely. They play a pretty high line, and they play extremely aggressive. They goal for goals. They play really, really nice football to watch. Real Madrid, with their pace up front, they know how to hit them on the counter. I mean, they did that. They really put pressure on Bayern. Especially getting gifted a goal by Manuel Neuer. Again, I don't know what... I mean, this is the hot and cold you get with Manuel Neuer his whole career. Like, last game, he was man of the match. This game, he gifts them, Real Madrid, a goal within the first minute. But then, again, he makes that one-on-one miracle save against Mbappe, So I thought Upamecano was fantastic. There were a couple tackles in there where he was literally celebrating like he just scored. He was fantastic. This midfield duo as well, Pavlovic and Joshua Kimmich, it reminds me of João Neves and Vitinha for PSG. That midfield battle in the next round against PSG is going to be so fun to watch. Like, I know Kimmich is only 31, but you could say he turned back the clock with this performance because he was looking like one of the best midfielders in the world the other day. Who would I give man of the match? I think I would give it to Kimmich. I would give man of the match to Kimmich. I know Kane got his great goal. But yeah, I mean, Bayern Munich as a whole, before that red card, I was thinking back to the first leg, the chances that they had in the Bernabeu that they didn't take advantage of, I really thought it was going to bite them. Like, they should have won the first leg probably 4 or 5-1, and they only came away 2-1 winners. You had to have known that Real Madrid was going to put up some kind of fight. I mean, the fact they scored early on definitely gave them a bit of a boost, but you knew they weren't going to make it easy for Bayern. That's just how this club is. But yeah, I got to talk about Harry Kane because he is the clear frontrunner for Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. He is having the best season in Europe. He is the best striker in Europe. And I'll be honest, there are a lot of times at Spurs in the past where I've thought about Harry Kane, the way he plays striker, the way he drops back, collects the ball deep, and you could even see it in this match. Like, there was a time, I think, that he was all the way back next to his corner flag, picking up the ball and passing it off to his midfielders. I really thought that in this era of football, that kind of striker it wouldn't work. It just can't work. It's too slow. His finishing is so good and his positioning is so good, that is what elevates him above everybody else right now. It's not his pace, it's not his dribbling, even though his dribbling has gotten better. It's his positioning and his finishing. That is why he is so good. And you could see it in his goal. His goal, a lot of strikers would have collected the ball, instantly shot. He waited for the players to move out of his way and he just easily slid it in the bottom corner. Easy. So many of his goals are precise when they don't need to be, Like, he is pinpoint accurate every time. It's always in the corner. It's always side netting. Even when it's an open net, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's my clear Ballon d'Or favorite. Honestly, probably Olise would be second. His goal that he took at the end of the game, I thought he took very well. A lot of people would just run to the corner flag, but he wanted that goal, that nail in the coffin, and I got to respect it. Luis Diaz, honestly, not that great of a game. I thought he got kind of pocketed by Trent. I thought Trent defensively as well was really, really good. Really good. Like, this is probably Trent's best game in a Real Madrid shirt. Is that crazy? Like, attacking and defending, he was amazing. I mean, Luis Diaz, he took his goal really well. That's really what it came down to. He had one moment, and he took it well. That's what it came down to. This is the best game of the year. This is the best game I've seen since probably Inter Barcelona last year. And hopefully with Bayern playing PSG, that one could become the best game of the season. But looking forward to the semifinals. I mean, Atletico against Arsenal. I do think Atletico has the edge. Arsenal, again, I don't see how they're scoring more than a goal, maybe two. Like, I just don't. I don't see it. And as for PSG Bayern, it's really going to come down to whose defense can stop the opposition attack, because both of these guys will have fantastic attacks. I think it's going to come down to who can outscore who. Man, it's so tough because I think Bayern are the better team, but I think PSG, the perfect opposition for Bayern, because the way I know PSG are an amazing team, but their counterattack is probably the deadliest in Europe right now. Bayern, you saw it defending against the counterattack. Bayern, they were shaky. They had weaknesses. Real Madrid exposed those weaknesses, but I think PSG can really take advantage. I'm excited to watch it. I cannot wait for the semifinals in the Champions League. I cannot wait for PSG versus Bayern. I think that is going to be the game of the year. That matchup, I think it's going to be better than whatever the final is. If it ends up being Bayern Atleti or PSG Atleti, or even if Arsenal get in. Also, another thing, like, it just tells me how poor the Premier League has been. There were two teams in the quarterfinals, and they scored a combined 1 goal. That's crazy. That is insane. Yeah, I mean, semifinals, we're getting into that point of the year where there are some huge games coming up. I mean, off the top of my head, this weekend, Manchester City Arsenal in the Premier League, title decider in my opinion. Semifinals of the Champions League, Leeds, Chelsea, semifinal of the FA Cup. And for all of these games, man, we will be there.